Hello, everyone, and welcome to Learn a Trade channel. My name is Kevin Tate. Glad to be here with you all today. The name of today's broadcast is Service Contract Pitfalls to Avoid. Some common pitfalls to avoid. While understanding the essential elements of a contract is crucial, it is also essential to be aware of common pitfalls to avoid when you're before you're getting into a contract or when creating service contracts. By avoiding these pitfalls, you can ensure that your contracts are legally sound and minimize the risk of disputes or legal issues. Let's take a look at some of the common pitfalls. Number one, ambiguous language. Using unclear or ambiguous language in your contract can create confusion and lead to disputes. It is essential to be precise and specific when defining the terms and conditions of the contract clearly state the scope of the services that you're going to provide. So in essence, if you're going to set up a service contract with a company or an establishment on their ice maker, okay, you want to make sure that you put the scope of work. Okay, if it's just going to be cleanings, PMs, or preventive maintenance, then you need to specify, be specific in your contract about that you're just going to do cleanings and preventive maintenance. Okay, you're not going to replace a compressor, so to say, or do emergency calls at night calls or anything like that. You're just going to do specifically the PM and the maintenance, and then you're going to allow that ice maker to make a batch of ice or two batches of ice before you leave, and then that's your scope of work. Okay, so hopefully that's clear. Um, you want to make sure that your scope of services is specific and clear, and that the payment terms are clear. Are they going to pay you electronically? Are they going to pay you cash? Are they going to pay you by check? You want to make that specific as well, and any other important details. Then next, you'll have failure to include important provisions. So failure to include important provisions in your contract can leave you vulnerable to potential issues. Include provisions such as termination clauses, dispute resolution mechanisms, how you're going to arrange or how you're going to work out any disputes with your new customer in this service contract. And you also want to include limitations of liability to protect your rights and interests. So you want to be sure that you include these things into your service contract. Another one is not obtaining written consent. While oral contracts can be legally binding, they can be challenging to enforce in court, especially. It is always advisable to have written contracts to ensure clarity and minimize misunderstandings. Make sure all parties involved sign the contract to indicate their consent and agreement to the terms that you have written down. So you want to make sure you have something in writing. Before I go on to the next one, let me just tell you a quick story. Um, when I first started out on my own, I I got together with some past co-workers, people that I used to work with, and they had got a pretty good gig with Starbucks. Okay, so they had got a gig with Starbucks. They had set up service arrangements at all the Starbucks stores in throughout Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and parts of New York, even. So they had a lot of territory to cover. It was only three of them and myself. We weren't all in business together. The three of them, they had started their own company, and then I had my own company. So they had asked me to. We had made a verbal agreement for me to cover the Connecticut and some of the New York store sites for these Starbucks, doing PMs. By the way, going to be doing preventive maintenance on their espresso machines. So that was all good, and we had worked out percentages and stuff like that. Now, mind you, this is when I'm just starting out in the business, in this industry, and I was ready to go. I had purchased the PM parts. I had purchased the kits. I had everything ready to go. And do you know, 1 month passed, 2 months passed, 3 months passed, a whole year passed, and I only got to do maybe two or three sites. And there's a ton more Starbucks, as you all know, all throughout these areas. So I figured something was not right. So I did go and I visited a site, and they had told me that those three individuals had came to that site and did the job. So they were doing the work. They weren't passing it on to me. But legally, I had a verbal agreement with them, but I did not have anything in writing. I didn't have anything in writing. So, when it comes to stuff like that, you can fight it in court and pay these court fees and stuff all you want, but if you don't have anything in writing, it's it's a hell of a road to travel. That's a hard task to be able to beat that. So that's just a little story about something that I went through in the business, and getting in and learning these lessons. So hopefully you could take this information and utilize it to your benefit. So you want to make sure that you obtain an agreement in writing. Okay. And the next one is not reviewing the contract. That's that could be very dangerous. Carefully reviewing the contract before signing is crucial. Reviewing the contract allows you to identify any errors, ambiguous language, or unfair terms. It also is an opportunity to negotiate and make changes if necessary. Take time to read and understand every provision before signing the contract. Next is failing to seek legal advice. If you are unsure about any aspect of the contract, or if it involves complex legal language, legal issues, it is always wise to seek out legal advice before you sign it. Okay? Consulting a lawyer specializing in contract law can help you ensure that your contract is legally sound and protects your rights as a business owner. Okay, so I hope that was clear. That was like 5 pitfalls that you could run into. And hopefully, with this information, this will help you be able to avoid those pitfalls. In conclusion, understanding the basics of contract law is crucial when creating service contracts. By familiarizing yourself with the essential elements of a contract and avoiding common pitfalls, you can ensure that your contracts are legally binding and protect your interests and your customers' interests as well. Remember to be clear and specific in defining the terms and conditions. Obtain written consent, and review the contract carefully before signing. Seeking legal advice when necessary can provide additional peace of mind and ensure that your contracts comply with all legal requirements. So take it upon yourself to take this information that I gave you and, you know, allow that to help you out when you start to form your contract. And all of this was just one section out of my guide called Creating Effective Service Contracts. You can find that on our website, and I will put that website down in the link, and you can go to our shop and find that that guide. That was just one section of the guide. So that guide is very informative, and I'm sure that you will get a lot out of it. So go to the website, or you can even click it on YouTube in my shop area and look for Creating Effective Service Contracts. I think it could really help. So that's all I have on that topic right now. I hope that was a help to you. I will give more in the future. And I hope this was a help to you all. If it was, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also, leave a comment too. I'd like to thank all of you viewers for watching this channel, and I hope you continue to watch. I like to thank the members of the channel and the members of the website as well. I thank you all for your support. I appreciate you. Take care and stay well.